everybody, it's me, Zach. This is Judy, and welcome back to our channel. Hey everybody, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I am doing well myself. Nobody asked, but I am. And I am back today to do another strenuous comb through, recap, highlight reel of the latest Amberlynn Reid live stream. I think it was called like High as a Hootenberry, something. I don't know. Y'all know she just makes up these titles as she goes. So I'm gonna give you the recap of the parts of that I felt like were most important. I don't know. Important feels like a strong word to use about anything that happens in an Amberlynn Reid live stream these days. But I'm gonna give you the highlights as I see fit. So as always, if you want to see the whole thing, obviously go watch her video. And also, there's half a dozen reaction channels these days. Go find the one that you want to watch. But I'm glad to have you here today to watch this video. And I also want to say thank you to today's sponsor, which is Atlas VPN. Atlas VPN is a tool that encrypts your data and hide your virtual location. When you connect to a VPN server, Atlas VPN gives your device a new IP and DNS address to help you safely browse the internet. It also has a data breach monitor feature that scans the whole internet for your email to see if it comes up in any kind of like record data breach dump situation type of deal. Currently, Atlas VPN is running a huge discount on their 3-year plan where you can get your subscription for just $1.39 per month. They also have a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can check out that deal by clicking the link in my description down below. And I also just want to say that Atlas VPN is supported on any device and, again, has a 30-day money-back guarantee. One of my favorite ways to use Atlas VPN is to access different streaming providers that geo-block content in different countries. So basically what that means is that, for instance, me as a citizen of the United States, I only have access to what different streaming providers want me to see on their US-based platforms, and people in like the UK or Canada or other parts of the world might have access to a whole library of other content that I don't have access to. Now, this is true for a lot of mainstream providers like Amazon Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus, but I also want to show you how it even works for a smaller streaming provider like World of Wonder. Now, I am a big fan of Drag Race to the extent that I pay for WoW Presents Plus, which is essentially like the Drag Race streaming service, and I pay for it because I like to watch all the international versions, and as a US subscriber, I do get access to Drag Race Holland, Drag Race Down Under, Drag Race Spain, Drag Race UK. But you know what I don't get as a US provider or as a US subscriber? I don't get access to just the general US seasons. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't have cable, so I'm not over here on VH1 watching it, and I'm already paying for all of this. So I use Atlas VPN to get access to the US content here on WoW Presents Plus. It's as simple as pulling open your VPN, Atlas VPN, and going and picking basically probably literally any other place, but I'm gonna, just for simplicity, pick the United Kingdom. So it's going to connect. We are now connected. Our connection is protected. And we're gonna go over here and refresh the page. And now look, Drag Race All-Stars, which, y'all, by the way, I also don't have Paramount Plus, which is where the 6th season of All-Stars is airing exclusively, unless you have access to different countries' VPNs, and you can watch Drag Race All-Stars Season 6 right here on WoW Presents Plus. So once again, just as a reminder, Atlas VPN has a 3-year deal for just $1.39 per month and a 30-day money-back guarantee. So make sure to check out the link down below in my description box to check it out for yourself. Thank you once again to Atlas VPN for sponsoring this video. I appreciate it. Now let's get on to the video. So if you didn't notice, she canceled Thursday's stream last week. I know. We're all surprised. Actually, this is karma for me saying in my last video that she was being consistent with live streams, because like, girl can't stay consistent for too long. It's really too much to ask that she just goes live 2 times a week for like an hour. You know, I know she doesn't think of it as a big deal, and I'm sure that she pays her bills. Her bills are paid, well, maybe, allegedly, and that's great for her, but like, people are not going to be able to relate to this for too long, right? Like, people who go to work every day, who have responsibilities every day, it's going to be hard for them to relate and empathize with the person who struggles to go live twice a week for an hour at a time. So she first announced on Thursday that she'd go live at 1 p.m. and then she quickly followed it up with this post where she's like, Becky comes first, you know, I can't live stream because of Becky. It's Becky's fault. And she also didn't follow up with like an additional stream on Friday. She didn't give a lot of explanation. We are gonna transition into that though for her current live stream where she does give that explanation. And honestly, at this point, I don't care if she streams or doesn't stream or why she's streaming or who she's streaming. Honestly, if you are a member at this point and you are paying for this is, you know what you're paying for at this point, okay? This has been a trend. This has been a pattern. So if you are upset because you are a paying member and you're not getting what you paid for, then you can stop paying for it. You surely can. But also, I just wish you'd give us recorded content again, because honestly, truly, I miss it. So let's jump into this live stream from Tuesday, August 10th, and it was called High on Hootenberries, as I said, and they started off with an explanation of why they didn't go live on Thursday.
So yeah, Becky was emotionally unstable on Thursday. Is that the best way to put it? And I didn't feel like it was appropriate for me to go on without her while she was feeling how she was feeling.
Yeah, but I'm good now. Ow.
Yeah, like I was too like Debbie Downer to even think about coming on here.
Now, listen, like I said, go live, don't go live, whoever, whatever, but I have a lot of questions about this codependency that you can't even do your job because your ex-girlfriend isn't feeling good, is feeling emotional, whatever it might be. You can't do your job because your ex-girlfriend is going through problems. For me, that shit, like, that's not connecting. I'm missing, like, where you're, like, so dependent on somebody who you've broken ties with, ended your relationship with, but yet you're still here dependent on her in order to go live and do your job twice a week. And again, Amberlynn really wants us to take her job as a YouTuber seriously, but Amberlynn doesn't take her job as a YouTuber seriously. Like, she doesn't understand this idea that, like, most people, while we do get afforded things like sick time, vacation time, things like that, and I certainly encourage people to take mental health days. That's always been something that even in my personal life, I'm like, listen, my mental health is just important as my physical health, so if my mental health isn't there, I'm going to take a day off. But the thing is that most of us are only awarded a certain amount of those things, okay? We only get so many days off, okay? And so we have to choose wisely. And I don't think she realizes that when she wants to come across as being this, like, everyday person who's just taking care of themselves. Like, please take whatever time you have for yourself. That's fine. But you also have to be aware that, like, people are going to respond in some type of way about that. And most people would not utilize one of their highly valued and coveted days off, which, like, most people don't get a ton of, for better or worse, okay? Most people wouldn't use that coveted time away from work because their ex wasn't feeling good. like I don't think that's something that's super relatable for a lot of people. And I also just want to say a little bit later in the stream, Becky says this.
Whenever I get really upset or something, I like to be by myself. That's what's comfortable, is me being by myself and gathering myself, and I'm fine not long after that.
And it's like, if Becky likes to be by herself while she's not feeling great, then what the hell did you need to not stream for outside of needing Becky by your side in order to do your job? Okay, like, Becky didn't need you. She said, I want to be by myself. I want to be alone. So what exactly was needed from you? These things just don't make sense to me. They also do provide a little bit of context of, like, why they didn't follow up with a Friday live stream, because in the past, Amberlynn has been like, by the way, like, I'll go live on another day of the week if I can't go live the day that I want to.
Well, I ended up in the ER because, I mean, we don't really need to go into it, actually, because I don't feel like sharing it. But I did end up in the ER for, like, the whole, like, what time did we get there?
It was almost 4 in the morning.
No,
like
it definitely wasn't 4 in the morning.
I thought it was like 3:30 something.
Yes, because I remember I was so tired. So it was 3:30, and we didn't leave until, like, what, 11?
Yeah, about 11 a.m. And
So
we were
it was
practically the only people there. There was like
Yeah, it was a
maybe
mess.
2 other people.
But I honestly am so confused by this, because she talks about, so she says that she had to go to the ER, which is fine. I don't have a lot to say about that. I hope she's doing well. I hope her health is good. But I'm confused about why this is particularly allegedly the reason that she couldn't go live on Friday, even though she mentions in the stream that she was at Eric and Ricky's house like Friday through Tuesday, and that the actual trip to the emergency room happened on Saturday morning.
She went in the hospital during our stay at Eric and Ricky's, and it wasn't actually admitted. It was ER.
So you're telling me you couldn't go live like Friday evening, Friday afternoon because you were in the ER Saturday morning? Like, it's just not adding up for me. It just really isn't adding up for me whatsoever. But I will double check on my calculator just to make sure. Nope, I was right. That shit's not adding up. The thing that is the theme of this particular live stream is that there's just like lots of tension in between Becky and Amberlynn. Parts of it are like funny, like playful shade, and other aspects of it are like, y'all need to work this out. And some of this starts off with Amberlynn just like bringing up wifey, which is also the other theme of this. And she says this about wifey trying to encourage her to lose weight.
And why did it take for someone else to make you want to lose weight? Why don't you just do it for yourself? I am doing it for myself, but I think it's like the support. Like, you hear all the time, to lose weight, you need a good support system. Like, some people like need that. And I guess that's just what I needed. Like, that type of like hyping me up. And plus it's like, I almost feel like I'm losing weight for us. Like, I'm not losing weight for her. It's like for me and for us. Because she said something so sweet today. She was like, you know, I want to like hike with you and stuff. And it's like, honestly, I can't. Like, I can't right now. And that's super sad. And like, I hate, like, I'm getting emotional thinking about it. Like, I feel bad, but
now, I vibe with the idea of, like, needing a good support system to meet any kind of your goals, because at the end of the day, like, you can believe in yourself and believe in yourself and believe in yourself, and there are people who can do everything on their own, but I also really believe in the idea of having a community around you of people who want you to be successful. And I think it's great if she has found somebody who can do that for her. It's clear at this point, both from Amberlynn and Becky, that together they were not being productive or supportive of each other. And I don't have a lot to say about that. I'm happy that wifey is there to be supportive in whatever way Amberlynn needs. However, I have a lot of questions about the logic Amberlynn is using here, because Amberlynn is going on and on and on about, like, I'm not doing this for me, or her, I'm doing this for us, okay? I'm doing this for us. But the reality is, there wouldn't be an us if it wasn't for her. So how can you say that you're doing it not for her when her is a big part of the us? Like, does that make sense? Are you following what I'm saying? Like, you say that you're doing it for the two of you collectively, but like without her, there would be no us and it would be just you. So I think that's what people are saying is like, you're doing it because you're in this like ideal relationship with her. Well, not relationship, you're not dating, I don't know what you're calling it. You have some kind of relationship, even if it's just FaceTiming for 14 hours a day. There would be no us without her. And so what people are saying is you really need to just focus on me. Do this for you. Do this for you with no context of a relationship, no context of like somebody else wanting you to do it. You should be wanting to do it for yourself. The part where Becky comes in is that Amberlynn is going on and on and on about like how one of the things that she loves about Wifey is that Wifey wants to travel. She says this thing about like how she's always wanted to travel, but Becky just didn't want to.
I've always wanted to travel, and Becky never did, which newly she wants to, which is so weird to me. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I thought I was going to be with her forever, so I kind of like put all my dreams on the back burner. Like, you guys know that. Like, a lot of you saw that. Because when you love someone, you kind of like do that.
It's like, nah, girl, Becky just didn't want to travel with you. What I'm hearing is Becky just didn't want to travel with you. And it's like, also, you're out here saying you've met this woman of your dreams because she likes to travel, she likes to do this, that, the other, but girl, it's still just you sitting here on this couch next to your old boo. So what are we doing here, really? What are we really doing? Are you traveling? Are you traveling yet? I mean, I see you twice a week, maybe, at best, on your living room sofa. There's also a lot of discussion about, like, how much Wifey will or will not be involved in Amberlynn's channel.
Will you ever show Wifey to us? Probably not, because I don't think she wants to be on video, which I totally understand.
And honestly, I give it until September when the wheels of that airplane touch down on that Kentucky soil, okay? I give it till then, and I'm sure we'll see Wifey if y'all are really a thing, if Wifey's really a thing, whoever, whatever. And the most important thing to know is that Amberlynn, she's getting them big feels. She's getting them big old feels for Wifey.
I don't know. I just started talking to this girl, and all of a sudden feelings happened, and feelings have definitely gotten very strong, like very.
Honestly, live your truth, but truth be told, it is wild to me that you're getting such strong feelings for a person that you've only ever interacted with on FaceTime and Instagram DMs. Like, you've not met this person in real life. Like, you are moving so fast. Like, this is the fastest I've seen Amberlynn move in a minute. And I mean, that might just be coming from my personal perspective. Like, I move slowly in all types of relationships, friendships, romantic relationships. I mean, I literally was dating Noel for 3 years before, like, Noel and I moved in together, okay? So I take everything super slow because I'm a cautious human. Now, the travel thing comes up a little bit more, and Becky just wants to set the record straight with Amberlynn.
Becky wants to travel. That's new. She never wanted to travel. She never wanted to. She was too scared to go on a plane, like, over the waters. She never wanted to move anywhere different. Like, my dream is to live in Seattle.
The plane was not the thing.
Becky will never do that.
The plane was not the thing. It's always been a bucket list of mine to jump out of a plane. So it's not the plane.
And this all just leads me to believe, like, how well did you all really know each other? How well did you all really know each other if Amberlynn thought you were scared of planes, but you're out here saying, no, I want to fucking jump from a plane? The whole time, Amberlynn and Becky honestly just look so salty towards each other during this exchange. And I honestly just think that this is so wild because people have been saying that it just looks like there's no love between them, no compatibility between them, that they have nothing in common. And like, they always denied it up and down. And now it's like the breakup happened and people are saying it loud and clear. Like, loud and clear. Y'all don't even really know that much about each other. Y'all aren't even on the same page. And the traveling thing is so chaotic now that Becky's even saying she might be willing to leave the state.
Plus, back in the day, I was like, oh, I don't really want to go far because, you know, what if something happens? And now I'm at a point where I'm like,
Now you're at a point, you'll live in a different state.
oh, no, maybe.
I'm leaving. You guys know how much this affected us.
Listen.
And now she's like, yeah, I'll do all of it now.
And if y'all remember, this was an important piece of why Becky decided that she needed to end the relationship. And it was because she just knew that Amberlynn wanted to move away from Kentucky someday. And that was something Becky could never do. And it's just like, oh, so now you might? Now you would potentially consider it? now that Amberlynn is out of the picture? It's, again, one, it sounds like maybe it's not that you didn't want to go out of state, you just didn't want to go out of state with Amberlynn. And two, something tells me there's a little bit more to this breakup than just like, oh, we have different goals, we have different end games, we need to be more supportive of each other. So somebody has the gall to ask them when they started losing sexual attraction towards each other.
When did you lose sexual attraction to each other? Oh shit, I'll let you go first.
I really don't know. I can't pinpoint it.
So was it while we were together?
I don't even...
I'm scared to know the
I
answer.
don't think, like, it ever left. I just think my libido has just...
Okay, she always has to blame the libido.
Well, I mean...
Oh my god, we're spilling some tea.
When did yours end?
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah. You don't like being put in the hot seat, do you?
I don't really know how to answer that question.
Why not?
I don't know.
See?
It's a weird question.
I can't tell you a time.
Definitely, like, I want to say, like, for sure, like, gone, like, completely, like a week after you broke up with me.
Yeah.
I'm mostly including this because it's just like an uncomfortable interaction, and also because it's clear that Amberlynn was feeling some type of way about the way that Becky answered the question, which, like, I think the way Becky answered it is fair, especially knowing that Becky has said that she's, you know, had increased depression and things like that. Those things impact your libido. But Amberlynn looked clearly so upset with that answer. And then she didn't even want to answer the question herself. It's like, why are you going to put Becky on blast to answer this question that you yourself don't even want to answer? And Becky does also say that she's gained some clarity in her life.
And now that I've done that, a whole lot more things are making sense. So I'm running with it.
Oh, things are making sense. I want to hear.
Yeah. I mean,
Tell me
I don't
more.
know. It's just...
I'm feeling fidgety.
every time I talk to my cousin and she gives me a tarot reading, it's like very accurate and it's telling me what path I need to go on, and everything just makes sense. And I'm seeing all these weird signs, and my intuition's working.
And Amber's saltiness in response to this is just very interesting for a person who's allegedly, like, ready to move on, ready to go on to the next big thing. And I think if she's not ready, that's fine. I just think she needs to, like, be honest with herself about it. Because it's kind of giving me big, like, how she wasn't honest about being over Destiny and then later telling us that she was in love with Destiny for, like, a year and a half or whatever. It's giving big those vibes. It's big, like, I'm going to put on a show that says I'm over, but I'm not over it. And while I have said time and time again that I think that people can remain friends with their exes and that, you you know, even going as far to say, like, I understand them living together and it makes sense to me. I don't know, this live stream is sort of kind of making me realize, like, maybe that's not the tea. It just seems like there's definitely some unresolved tension between the two of them that they haven't really actually processed as much as they said they have, because you can just see in the way that they interact with each other that something is off. Something is off, and they're not the besties that they say they are. I do want to revisit the ongoing conversations since the live streams recently have included conversations about paying Becky and things like that. There was this little tidbit that happened.
This is the most awkward live stream I've ever seen. Becky's in a weird headspace, but this is her
doing
job now.
something. I'm doing something.
Y'all, I pay her monthly now.
I'm doing something.
I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of her.
And I would like a point of clarification, because I thought that they were already paying Becky as a part of this channel even before the breakup, but now she's saying this is Becky's job now? But like, what was Becky doing before then? I'm kind of confused about that. If this is just like something that is just now a thing, then what would you say Becky did before? And you always said like, oh, Becky doesn't have an allowance, like she has her own money, whoever, whatever. Like, again, like these, I'm not gonna pull out the calculator a second time in this video, but like things just aren't quite adding up for me. And also, if it only became Becky's job post breakup, that's a weird power dynamic for me, baby. That is just a little odd that you are now like saying you are your ex-girlfriend's employer and you're only becoming her employer post breakup. This seems messy. And this part I'm gonna be beating a dead horse on, but like, for real, what are you gonna do once she moves out? Like, what's gonna happen once you don't live with Becky anymore? Is she gonna drive over and do live streams with you twice a week? I'm just asking. I'm serious. I would like to know. They do have a point to clarify that neither of them are interested in revisiting a relationship with each other.
Amber, would you ever take Becky back if she changed? No.
Changed?
I don't know what that means, but no.
I wouldn't take her back either.
That wasn't shade.
No, I'm just saying we wouldn't take each other back.
It's because now I know. This sounds bad, but now I know what, like, that love feels like. Wait. Never mind.
And I do get the sense that they are both very much done. I think that's very much real. It seems like they are very much over this whole situation type of deal, outside of, like, apparently living together. Becky does give some more insight about why she wanted to end the relationship.
And I mean, that is actually the biggest reason why I broke up with Amberlynn, is to have my own personal journey and to grow and to change.
And all I have to say is you want to do all of this stuff for your own personal growth and change and whoever, whatever, and yet here you are. Here you are, months after your breakup, and you're still sitting right there on that sofa next to Amberlynn Reed. So, what is your personal journey and growth to become Amberlynn Reed's personal assistant? Is that the journey? Because I feel like that was the journey you were already on. The stream ends with Amberlynn letting folks know that she will not be answering any more questions about wifey.
I'm not going to be answering any more questions about wifey because it's no one's business. Like, people are trying so hard to find her. It's fucking creepy, and I'm not talking about her anymore. All you need to know is that she means a lot to me, and that's that.
I agree that it's unnecessary for folks to be going and searching out this like person with very limited details outside of like the most basic of descriptions. I mean, literally Amberlynn described like a fit black woman. Okay, she described a fit black woman who is interested in Amberlynn Reed videos. I could think of at least a few that I even just follow on my own social media, okay? Let alone that there are lots of fit black women in the world, okay? There just are. There just are. So, like, I agree. I think it's kind of wild that people are on this, like, goose chase to find who this person is with such limited information. Regardless to say that, like, also this person, to some extent, has expressed that they don't want to be a part of the channel. But with that being said, I do have to say, Amberlynn knows how the internet works. Amberlynn knows how the internet works. So if you knew that wifey didn't want to be a part of this narrative, a part of this experience, you should have just not brought her up to begin with. You just should have not brought her up at all, period. Period! And you know she's able to, you know, comb through comments, comb through super chats where there's hateful things being said and not acknowledge those things. So you know she has the capacity to just go on with life and ignore the things that she doesn't want to talk about. So I feel like she knows exactly what she's doing here. She is not intentionally talking about wifey. Okay, she knows what she's doing. She's intentionally bringing her up and being vague, in my opinion. But nevertheless, in classic Amberlynn Reid fashion, despite saying she's not going to answer any more questions about wifey, literally 3 minutes later in the stream, she answers this question about wifey.
If wifey first thing does is try to change you or fix you, then something isn't right with that. She's not. She's literally not. I told her about my picking problem because my OCD makes me pick. It is what it is. And that was really hard for me to open up to her about. And literally the minute I did it, she just showed like how much she cared. And she sent me like this link where I can find a therapist and get a therapist. She literally cares about me. No one has ever like done that before.
Which, by the way, I will say, I'm sure it is hard to be vulnerable, especially with a new partner, a new person that you are hoping to build a relationship with. I respect that. I understand that. But also, this is not something she hasn't like talked about to some extent on her actual YouTube channel with hundreds of thousands of strangers every day, okay? I guess good for you for being so vulnerable, but also you literally have shared this before. And as you pointed out in the last live stream I covered, wifey knows about your YouTube channel. So I feel like, I mean, it's possible she didn't see the few videos where you have talked about this before, but like, I mean, it's out there. And that was really the end of the live stream. It was actually kind of an awkward ending because like she literally just left Becky on the screen and Becky was like, bye, and then it ended. I don't know, it just seemed really weird to me. But I guess just in like a general kind of like wrap up for how I'm feeling about where things are with this, like Becky and Amberlynn are broken up. Now there's this wifey character. I have to say, I still believe Amberlynn can do whatever she wants with new relationships, new people in her life, whatever it might be. I will say, though, that some of my personal thoughts on this whole situation are shifting a little bit in the sense that, like, it's clear that Becky and Amberlynn still have some, like, unresolved tension, unresolved problems, and that they haven't really done the work to like process those things. I'm not saying that it's not possible or that they can't do it. In fact, I think that they can. It's just gonna maybe take a little bit longer, probably gonna take a little bit more distance. I mean, they're literally still living together. For me, it's beginning to feel a little weird that like Amberlynn is trying to move on so quickly to a new situation type of deal, and she hasn't really even finished the old one. And it's very reminiscent, and a lot of people on the internet have pointed this out. I'm definitely not the first, but it feels very reminiscent of all of the other relationships we've seen online. Like when Crystal ended, when the Crystal relationship ended, she very quickly moved on to Destiny. And when the Destiny relationship ended, she very quickly moved on to Becky. And in similar fashions, right? By like messaging people, talking to people in the DMs. Like I wasn't around like actively watching in real time the Crystal to Destiny era, but I was watching actively the Destiny to Becky era, and this is like exactly how things happened with Becky. Exactly. Like, Becky reached out in a DM and she started talking to Becky. And we all know that Amberlynn herself has admitted that for the first like year and a half or something like that of their relationship, she was not over Destiny yet. And so I can't help but think like some parts of this are going to be reflected in this new relationship with Wifey. And I honestly am just like, how can you keep repeating things over and over and over and over again and expect things to go any other way? Like, honestly, truly, I have a lot of questions. But they're not going to get answered today. So, if this is your first time subscribing, stick around because I'll probably continue to do little check-ins with the wifey relationship, the Amberlynn-Becky breakup relationship. And I'm just fascinated, and I am kind of like enjoying this little new fresh era of Amberlynn Reid. I would like regular content to come back, though. Let's be honest. I'm kind of tired of these live streams. But either way, I have been enjoying this current saga. So make sure to subscribe if this is your first video and click the bell button so you get notifications. Also, leave me some comments about what you think about this situationship. And also hit like, click share, and follow me on all of my social media. I had so much fun with you all today. Thank you once again to Atlas VPN for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!